Hi, I'm Yvette Feasey from RPM Discs, and this is my in the bag for 2023, but more specifically for the current moment, because my bag does change quite a bit. So I'm going to flick through some of my discs, and I'll definitely point out some of the ones which are ones that stay in my bag and ones that I chop and change. But I'm currently using the new Tahe Nui bag, which is our large bag. And it's got heaps of room for expansion on the sides. I like to use these shelves here for my mid-ranges and the larger diameter discs, and put my putters in the top pocket. And I've got a mini in here, so I suppose we start with the most important disc, the mini. This is a Cross Tasman mini, which was given to me, and it's quite cool. It's got the Australian and New Zealand stuff. So that's the mini. Right, let's start with the putters. I'm putting with Strata Tuis, and I just really like these because they got a really good straight glide. And basically they go where you aim. So if you miss, it's because you haven't putted them straight. I've got two of those in my bag. This is an old Platinum, which is a favourite disc of mine, a really good turnover, super flippy Tui, and I use that quite a bit. Actually, I use it in Taupo with a lot of success. I've had numerous birdies on hole, I think it's currently hole 3 at Taupo with this disc, and it basically just pops up, rocks over, has a little winny fade at the end. Fantastic Tui. And I have one more Tui in my bag, which is a more stable Tui that I can use for real straight shots. That was really useful down in Paradise when I didn't want it to turn over too much. Just wanted to hyzer flip and ride flat. So that's my Tuis. I'll stick with understable. I've got a Cosmic Piwakawaka that I really like. It's getting a little bit worn now, so it's really getting some nice flip on it, and it's got good distance. Actually, Taupo Spa Park, I used that on hole 1, and if I just about crept around the tree, would have been a nice shot. But that's my my Piwakawaka. I've only got one in my bag at the moment. I've also got two Takapus, which I don't actually putt with. I use them for approach shots, and this, I just love it. It's just so reliable. I can put it on a little hyzer, I can put it on a little Anheuser, I can throw it straight and it's going to fade. And the Magma version actually flies pretty much exactly the same. The only difference being that if I'm worried about a fast green and I don't want to get a skip, or it's a little bit wet and damp, this is the go-to disc for that. And yeah, I do have a number of discs which I can throw in the wet, so that's why I've got a few Magmas and some Stratas thrown into my selection. The old faithful Ruru, believe it or not, this is a stamp that we did for Mark Dakov, a Canadian company, Claro, something like that. But this disc, I just can't really take it out of my bag. It's got lots of aces. It's a beauty, and it still flies straight. It's actually now just got a little winny bit of a turn on it, so I have to be a little bit careful not to flip it. But yeah, good, reliable. Actually, I do use it sometimes for a turnover as well, but a good throwing putter. The Ruru. I've got two Kias. I've got this old Glow Kia, which you can see is pretty worn, but it's dead flat and still very stable, or overstable, I should say. And yeah, so I basically use that one if I'm throwing into a strong headwind. If I'm throwing, and I really love the Kia for the flick shots as well. It's got a nice flat nose, very torque resistant. This is a really nice one that I've had for a long time, and I can really throw that pretty straight with a little bit of fade at the end, or I can flick it for up shots. So those are my two Kias. if we move on to the next sort of speed, at the moment I've got 2 Kotukus in my bag, and I'm probably going to put the Drew Gibson one in my bag because I've been throwing that and I really love it. It's a glow version. I just played a tournament on the weekend and it was incredibly windy, and this atomic Kotuku here, I was able to throw it into 50-60 km/h gusting wind, headwind, and hold a line. So I'm super happy with the stability of these discs, and they've got good penetration as well. You can really wail on them and they'll consistently take a little, if you chuck it out on an Anheuser, it'll come back with a fade. This Dave Feldberg signature Strata is just lovely for really straight shots, tunnel shots, stuff like that. Anything up to about 100 meters, it's solid. So that's my Kotukus. Okay, so right, getting into the fairway drivers. Got a couple of Huias, and one of the things that this is an older run Huia here. One of the things about the discs, I guess, to help me choose them, is I really like something that's a little bit stiffer in the plastic. I'm not, I don't like really soft discs, and all of the discs that I go for, I pretty much, I like to throw them. I like to feel, get a good grip on them. Yeah, I think the game's very tactile, and the grip's really important for me. So yeah, it's nice, obviously, to have lots of discs to choose from, but I'm very much an advocate of getting your hands on them and having a feel. The other useful thing is we have a date stamp. Oh, this is pre-date stamp, that one. But all of our discs now have a date stamp on the underside. You can't really read that because it's got a bit of dirt in it, but they tell you which batch number this disc came from, so I know if I go and get another orange one of the same run, this one's the first run, it's going to be a solid disc. Flying similar, very similar. I've got 2 Pekapekas. Again, the funny thing is that this Minty, which is a very popular run, because it's got a bit more stability, a bit more overstability actually. The main reason that it was in my bag was because we were missing a control driver that had more stability. And the funny thing is that we've changed that now with the new Tara Iti, which was just released recently. So the Minty Pekapeka now is kind of almost a little bit redundant in my bag. It's going to hang in there for a while. I did throw it on the weekend with a really nice shot on the hole, but we'll see if that stays in the bag or not. This is a beautiful Paradise Plates stamp, and this is quite a flippy cosmic Pekapeka, which I really love. And also, if I'm playing on one of the golf course layouts, I'll throw an even more flippy Pekapeka in for throwing rollers, because the golf courses have the best grass. And up until recently, we never used to have roller holes in courses that we played, so it's been fun experimenting with some rollers. 2 Tara Itis at the moment. I was experimenting with a pop top cosmic, but I'm just concerned it might be a little bit too flippy. And once again, when you get into the flippy side of the more unstable side of discs, I probably just tend to go with the Pekapeka. They have the sort of slightly more reliable flip than these. So here's a first run atomic, and this is a nice platinum, which is really nice and stable. So probably going to end up putting a couple more, or at least one more Tara Itis in my bag, because I do notice that they wear in quite nicely, and I'm going to end up getting a good straight fairway driver out of them. Now my favourite discs, the Kahus, and they get me in trouble, but I absolutely love these pop top. I've got 2 purple ones, and this run was, probably can't see it very clearly. They're actually even a little bit hard to see in the in the woods or in the grass. But you'll notice that they've got a stiffness to them that gives them this beautiful pop. You can even hear it. It's like a heartbeat, I call it. And the best ones they have the rim slightly higher than some of the more flippy ones. So the ones that are tuned down a bit more, they're a bit too flippy. I find these ones I can just really crush them either with a hyzer flip or throw them up high on a Sky Annie, and they'll take a good roll. My favourite Kahu's there. This one's a platinum that hasn't been stamped yet, but it's an XG, but it's just a little bit more stable than those purple ones. And if I'm getting a little bit worried that I'm going to get caught and the wind's going to change direction slightly, I'll go with this just to try and mitigate against the turnover. Because when these things, if they flip over and go right, then you're in for a bunch of hurt. They can go a long way. And I've got, for my most stable slot, I've got no Kiwi at the moment, and I sometimes will put a Kahu OS in, like an old school. At the moment, it's somewhere sitting by my practice basket. I haven't managed to find it again. So I pulled this old Kotare out, which has got a pretty cool stamp. And this was really, really solid into the wind, very stable. And this is pretty much my main forehand disc. Sometimes I forehand with the Kahu XGs, but this Kotare here, really lovely, nice shape, solid disc. Okay, so what else have we got in the bag? I've collected a few knickknacks over the years, various different bag tags. At the moment, I've just got this nice one in here, Otutahi tag number 36. So I got given that. I've actually never played anybody for a bag tag in this Otutahi range, but it's a beautiful piece of wood. So I keep that. Haley made me this gorgeous piece of stone, a lovely little, like the 2 koros for RPM. So that's pretty special. So that stays in there. And then, there's a Taupo Nui towel. Pretty cool stamp there. Really love that. It's awesome. I've got a couple of towels in the bag. Also, I carry a rangefinder, which I don't use very often. I've got to be honest. I'm much more, I just feel it, I suppose, old school, I guess. But this is useful now and again if I'm really confused about a distance. I'll get this out. It's also got a speed radar on it, which is kind of cool. So that guy just sits in there. Got an MVP, what do you call them, birdie bag type thing, just giving a little bit of tackiness if it's super hot. We don't tend to get it too much. We haven't had much of a summer in Auckland, so that's been useless this year. Most important thing in my bag, the umbrella. I don't like wearing suntan lotion or hats, so I tend to spend a lot of time, if it's sunny, under my umbrella, and if it's raining, under my umbrella, because again, playing with a raincoat on, don't like it. Just want to be really free moving, and the umbrella's awesome for that. What else have we got on here? A couple of drink bottles. I have on this side, I've got another nice towel, nice Team RPM towel, and this has got the little wing on it, so which is quite good for warming up. And I don't have much in here, but these bags are absolutely fantastic. You can fully unzip the side pockets and you get a massive expansion out of them. And when I'm doing field work and practicing, I get another 6 discs in each side, so I can take plenty of discs with me to go and practice. So that's pretty useful. They've also got zip pockets in the side for putting your wallet or keys, whatever. What have I got in there? I've got a beanie. Eclipse Sport, OG beanie, another towel. One of those nut bars, didn't eat them on the weekend. And that's pretty much it. The bag's got a rainfly in the back as well, if you haven't seen it before, which is kind of cool. And if you don't want to use the rainfly, you've got another pouch at the back you can use for storing other things, whatever you want. So really happy with the bag, and the discs, obviously. yeah, so that's it. 2023, there'll be some changes for sure, there always is. I do tend to pick discs for courses, depending on what the course is like. Sometimes I throw a lightweight disc in if there's a lot of uphill shots. Yeah, but that's my bag. Cheers.